Hello. Hi, how are you doing? I'm here, taking it one day at a time, as I assume most of everybody out there is. Just putting on a little bit of serum. I hope everybody is staying inside and keeping each other safe. That's all that we can really do at this point. It's been hard for me to like pick up the camera and talk on this. I kind of touched on this in my last video. With uncertainty uprises a lot of emotions, but I just want you to know that if you're feeling any sort of way, uncertain, fearful, even happy. I know people are very confused. Like, I caught myself enjoying a movie and then in the back of my mind feeling guilty for feeling happy. And then, you know what I mean? Like, it's just this conflict of emotions right now. And that's the journey of being a human, that you have access to all these emotions. A tool that's been helping me that I could share with you is that, you know, I was having a lot of anxiety, and it was all about fear of potential outcomes of the future. And the thing that I had to reel myself back with was, you're in right now. Like, right now is what's happening right now. I'm not getting evicted right now. I'm not sick right now. I am doing what I can right now to take the steps to not add to the fire of what's going on in the world. So with that, I want to invite you to take a breath with me. In through the nose. Hold it. And release. Big deep breaths help you to reset. Even holding your fingers together. I talked about this with my Fear of Flying vlog. This is just a tool that kind of resets your mind. You hold your pointer to your thumb and you take a deep breath in. Hold it for about 4 seconds and then release. So sorry, I got a little off track. The purpose of this video today is to just bring some light into the world. It's been a little challenging for me to just like hop on camera and be like, you know, same old Sam, when internally I'm with all of you in the uncertainty and turbulence of life right now. But I recently watched a Bobbi Brown workshop video, and it was just so random how it was so relevant to right now. And she basically said she was speaking at a women's conference right after 9/11. I don't know exact details. I just know that she was speaking somewhere about makeup and the power of makeup, and she went to go speak and she started crying, and a woman came up to her to console her. So Bobbi Brown was like, "This feels really insensitive. I feel like this is so irrelevant, makeup." But the woman replied and basically assured her, like, if we can feel good right now, that's healing. So it literally, it moved me, because that's like exactly how I feel right now, where I feel like I'm so freaking blessed to be in a career where I get to uplift women, and I feel a little powerless in that right now. And I also feel the same way. I'm like, isn't this a little superficial? Like, because on the daily I just feel so blessed that I get to have fun and empower women for a living, and right now I can't do that, but I can. So we're gonna do what we can with the tools that we have. Before I start, I just want to say thank you to you if you are a nurse or a healthcare person, or, you know, the people who are really going into this fearlessly and selflessly. Thank you. It's a big, uncertain waiting game. I hope at the end of this we all can feel strong knowing that we did the best that we could during this time. Let me just take a moment to recoup. Sorry, I just had to regather my thoughts. Thank you to you, even if you're not in the health care and you're just have a part in making people well in this lifetime. Thank you. I want to contribute to some sort of healing in the way that I know that I can, and for me it is makeup artistry, and it's a little thing, it's a little fun way that you could start feeling good if you're feeling uncertain. I got into makeup because of that power that it had, the power that it had to awaken something within me that I didn't have the capacity to see when I didn't have it on. I was always a girl in middle school who hated makeup and never wore it, but once somebody did my makeup correctly, it awakened a confidence within me. So let's tap into that today. Let's tap into the inner warrior within us, and let's just feel good today. We have that power. So I just pulled a few of my own products. Literally fits in this little bin. That's all you need for a full face. Like, if you have a giant makeup collection, good for you. I don't like hoarding makeup. I like using what I have, and so I love this palette. I've used this in many videos. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Instant Look in a Palette, 5-minute face on the go. Unfortunately, I dropped it and lost my highlighter, so I have this MAC eyeshadow in Shroom, which can double as a highlighter and a brow highlight. So I'm going to be working from these 3 eyeshadows, these 2 blushes, that bronzer. My foundation today is going to be Danessa Myricks Vision Cream Cover. It's a full coverage foundation, but I'm going to sheer it out. I also recently got this Shiseido foundation sample. I don't know, I might mix it in. Too Faced Born This Way concealer. Again, a little bit more of a heavy concealer that I'm gonna sheer out. Kevyn Aucoin loose powder. This is on its last leg. It Lash Blowout. Eyebrow Queen Brow Pro, and then a little lip balm from Winky Luxe, which is like an adjusting lip balm, which I'm just gonna put on now because I'm not really a lipstick wearer. And of course, an eye base Painterly Paint Pot from MAC. I want this tutorial to just be something that you can do in this time to just feel better. So keeping it simple is really important. I have already moisturized my skin, and I'm going to start with my eyes today just out of preference, and I'm gonna use Painterly and like a little fluffy brush and just prime my lids. I want this to be a look where you could literally just watch this and get inspired. Just do a little something as a pick-me-up, because the thing is, we're inside and sometimes we're not motivated to do what we can and optimize what we can in the time that we have. I'm just taking the brow bone color and putting it on my brow bone. But when we feel ready for the day, we feel like we could take on anything. So that's what makeup has the power to do. I'm gonna take this champagne color really fast all over the lid. And then on a fluffier brush, like a crease brush, I'm taking this bronzer, swirling it in, tapping it off, and just putting that on the crease of my eye. Focusing more on the outer corner and sweeping inward. I have lighter skin tone and lighter eyes, so that's why I go with the bronzer first, because I don't want it to be too deep. If you're more like a medium tan to deep complexion, you're gonna choose colors that are more cohesive with your skin tone. So you might want to start at that level and then go deeper. Then I'm gonna take the deepest color that I'm gonna use today and just put it on the outside of my eye, kind of on the outer corner. If it gets down here, I don't really worry about that. I just kind of blend it. You could totally clean that up, but focusing it on the outer part, whatever's remaining on the brush, you could kind of sweep over that champagne to tone it down a little bit. And that's it for eyes. This should be quick, it should be easy. It should just be a little pick-me-up. Next, I'm going to go to concealer. So if I look straight, I'm just dotting the concealer on concern areas. So on this side, I don't know if you could see this, I have just a little bit of depth right here. That's where I'm gonna focus my concealer. I'm not bringing my concealer here because there's not anything to cover there. If I have a bit of redness, the foundation's gonna take care of that. So here, I have a little bit more darkness in this area, so I'm just gonna focus the concealer there. It's actually an under eye vein. So like here and right here. Now another area that gets a little dark is right here. So I just put it on those areas and to clean up that eyeshadow. What I do is take a little brush and just blend that in, pat it in. And it is a little bit more of a thicker concealer, so the edges I'm gonna blend out with the foundation. Another area I have to cover up is this little pimple, any sort of redness. And then this is my foundation brush, which I'll use to sort of blend the edge. Okay, now I'm gonna take the Shiseido foundation and a little bit of the Vision Cream color. I'm gonna mix it onto my brush. And then I'm just gonna start the focus in this area of my face and start blending and shearing this out. A great alternative, which I ran out of, is It Cosmetics CC Cream. It's a tinted moisturizer and it's really great for every day, and it just smooths and is so beautiful on the skin. But I'm just using the slightest amount of foundation. Like, I want to re-put it on my hand to show you how a little goes a long way. This is the amount of foundation that I'm using, and I'm putting it on my brush, swirling it, and just using that for my entire face. Okay, here I let my foundation sink into my skin. It is a little bit pale, but you'll see when I start to sculpt and powder, it'll tone down the paleness. I just am pale, but when you have foundation, it kind of whites it out. For eyebrows, always comb your brows up if you're not gonna fill them in. That just gives an instant lift. And then sometimes I just leave them combed. Sometimes I just lightly fill them in. I think I'm just gonna do a light fill in today, extending the tail of my eyebrow. Why I'm not doing like my full-on eyebrow is because I'm just assuming we're all staying inside. This is kind of just a pick-me-up look, like where it's like, I feel better now. I feel like I can conquer the day. I feel more inspired. I feel more beautiful. You don't have to sit there for 5 hours and carve out your brow. Sometimes it's just sketching in a few hairs, softening it with the spoolie. So that's really it for brows, like quick little fill-in. Okay, for powder, I'm just taking a little bit of Kevyn Aucoin powder. I'm gonna dump it into my hands actually, like that. First, I'm gonna take this brush, and this brush is really cool because it has this awesome shape to it. So the top is more fluffy and the bottom is more dense. I'm taking the more fluffy side and just getting a little bit of powder, tapping it off, looking up and pressing it onto my under eyes, and then taking the rest of that powder and pressing everywhere for a quick set. Next, I'm just gonna quickly sweep some shadow underneath my eye, taking the darker brown and the bronzer. From here, I'm gonna take the bronzer with a fan brush. This has been my latest thing because the fan brush is very soft and it cuts the cheek really good. So it's like a soft cut. And just blend it up. So this tone of bronzer works for me for contouring. I don't always recommend contouring with bronzer. It's a good tone for warming up the skin, and it just ends up contouring me because I have that hollow already. If you don't have that hollow, this is a really good palette, Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting. So like this is a good tone if I really wanted to go in there and sculpt and contour. But I skipped that for today because if we were just in your house, then I wouldn't worry about it. The blush, I'm just gonna use the blush that's in here, and there's like this swirl color. It's a little dark, so I start it a little bit higher, meaning like I start this a little bit farther back and then bring it to the apples. You could skip blush if you're just more of a bronzer girl and just leave it there. If you want to dip into your eyeshadow for a little dust of highlight, that's cute. I think I just have a little messy line here. From here, I set my face. So I'm setting today with the Jeffree Star Morphe setting spray. It smells like strawberries. This is not my favorite setting spray. I'm kind of just using it up. It's okay. It does its job, but I personally prefer Urban Decay. I have drier skin and I just feel like setting spray is a must for me. So I like to put a lot on because it just feels amazing. And then just a quick coat of mascara. I was gonna say why I do setting spray before mascara is because if you have a tendency for your mascara to run, then I would not put water on it from the setting spray. So just to avoid that, I just do it after. I skip eyeliner because eyeliner can add more of a contrast. It just really depends on your eye shape and preference because it does add a contrast. If you have extra time, sometimes it's just good to sit and play with makeup and try new things that you've never tried before. So from here, I just refine and blend a little bit more if I need to. Just taking that fluffy brush and making sure there's no hard lines anywhere and just softening everything up. I feel like even though it's winter and I'm pale. I still feel a little too pale, so I'm just grabbing a bronzer. Just taking a fluffy powder brush and warming up the skin with some bronzer. And that's it. It's simple, it's fun, it's easy, it's polished, it's fast, and hopefully it'll put you in a better mood today. Have an amazing day. I'm praying for humanity. I'm praying for you. Feel through your feelings. It's okay to feel whatever you're feeling right now. Know that everyone is here standing by your side and that we can make today brighter with ourselves. I love you. Thank you for watching. See you next time.